was passionate, I mean passionate about helping people, because Ed lived in a haunted house. He lived in a haunted house in Bridgeport, Connecticut from age 5 to age 12. So he said to me, when I got out of the Navy, I said, I'm gonna find out if other people had the same experiences that I did when I lived in that house.
From the time that I was about 7 years old, I remember seeing lights around people. I realized that I was communicating. My Catholic faith is very, very important to me and still is today, and that helped me.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of the Supernatural. Tonight we have our special guest with us, Fr Bob Baily. Reasons why we got Fr Bob with us. He's going to be joining us on Warrenology tomorrow. It's an event that we're holding at the Twisted Vine Restaurant in Derby, Connecticut. And Fr Bob is just going to assist us on that day, being in the museum and helping us around here at the house. You're going to do a blessing of the museum before we move the items from there. And we have Wade Kirby and Chris Galorin. Hey, guys.
What's up, guys?
So Fr Bob, how do you feel about joining us tomorrow?
I'm excited. It's the first ever Warrenology that I'm going to. So.
Isn't it really the first one? I thought you
all
came
the
to one of
years.
the other
Yeah,
ones.
you had to have.
No.
I swear you've been there.
Really? No, I went to Gettysburg.
With Ryan.
Yeah. That was the first thing I ever went with you guys.
Right. And now I think that was the first time that they transported Annabelle over there, right? Outside of the museum.
Probably.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
that's what it
that
was.
right?
That was the first time Annabelle traveled.
How long ago was that? What year was that?
That was around 2009,
No.
2010.
This last time.
Oh, this last time? That was the first time? You didn't go with Ryan back then?
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And how long have I known you?
You've known me for quite a while.
And you never came to our events, not until Gettysburg.
No. You never invited me.
Well, no, I couldn't find you for a while.
You're right.
You went into hiding.
I mean, we used to communicate. We used to talk to each other all the time, but there was a time where you were off the grid for a while.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, welcome aboard. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We're honored to have you and your services here.
I feel honored.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to have a pretty cool event tomorrow, I think. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, everybody is. Tony's excited. You know, it's his first Warrenology in a few years.
Right. So it's like we're going back to our roots, how we started all this.
I know Judy really wanted us to start the Warrenologies again, so she's excited as well. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and also the way we have it set up, I mean, you got the dining room area of the venue. Mm-hmm. Then after we do our lecture, Q&A and everything, well, Chris calls it the third level of the building. I call it the second level, but technically it's the third level. That's where the museum's set up. So it's going to be a pretty cool setup with the artifacts up there. So after everybody comes through and they see the museum, and then we're going to have a night that we get to investigate the location.
Yeah, that's what's different about this one is we're going to investigate after Warrenology. We're getting another group of people coming in and we're going to investigate a haunted location, and we're going to have items from the museum that are there, including, Annabelle.
And it's a return for myself. I mean, I've been at this location. I think I was one of the first groups.
You were back before I even knew you.
Right. To investigate the Twisted Vine, which it got the attention of a couple shows, I believe. I believe it was Kindred Spirits did a show there, an episode.
Yeah.
I think it was Amy Bruni and Adam Berry. It's a pretty cool location. There is a small location right around the corner. It's the Sterling Opera House. Mm-hmm. So there's a connection between the two properties.
Yep.
And the activity is similar. And the responses from the EVPs of the spirits are the same from both locations as
Cool.
well.
Actually, if you walk that whole street, you could probably the whole
The whole
road.
center of Derby.
Derby.
Because remember, we did the library as well down the street.
That's right. We did the library.
You know,
about that?
and then you have the Irvin School across the street, which is also haunted.
Did we do that?
We didn't investigate the Irvin School, but that is known to be haunted as well.
I never heard that.
And then it was
There's a house down the street. We won't mention that place, but that we've done.
Oh, there's another one a couple blocks down the street that
Yeah.
we investigated.
Yeah.
And there's also we had our office over there at the firehouse.
Yeah, the old firehouse.
The old firehouse was haunted, and this was a firehouse back in the late 1800s. You know, with the wagons and everything.
Yeah, if you guys ever go down to Derby, Connecticut, that whole Main Street area, up Elizabeth Street, even Caroline Street, where the old firehouse is. I know they had experiences there. And we were talking.
That was the old cobblestone road, which they dug up the cobblestone road over there
just a few years ago.
Right, right.
It went all the
And
way
that's
back
in
to
Derby, Connecticut?
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a lot of
Half
history.
hour.
There's a lot of history in Derby.
Yeah, that's
Um,
pretty cool.
I think it was the flood where during
Flood 55.
the flood of 55 that the bodies were coming out of the ground. That's how
We had that in Rhode Island.
flooded they got. So all the bodies were washing into the river.
Mhm.
So what they were doing is
Caskets.
taking the caskets that were in the rivers and everything, and bringing them into the local establishments off the river there.
Wow.
And there were tunnels that were underground. So that's how they were bringing the bodies into the Twisted Vine restaurant itself, where they store the bodies in the basement.
Holy cow.
So that's what we're going to be investigating tomorrow and having our
Allegedly.
Warrenology.
I don't agree with that. I don't.
You know, people say
I
that
don't-
it wasn't, and then there is a
Yeah.
lot of people that, and the
Yeah.
tunnels are there. I
But
found the tunnels.
The tunnels are there. We all know the tunnels are there, but there's a hospital that was right up the street. Why would they store the bodies in a bank?
We don't
basement?
know. We don't know why.
It did.
Chris believes that it didn't happen.
It
He's
didn't
the one that is the one that, you know.
I know
it
everything.
didn't happen. He knows everything. I believe
It happened in the hurricane of 38 in Rhode Island, actually.
Mm-hmm.
One of them went down and actually hit the doorway, and it was the loved one of the casket.
What do you mean? Hold on.
In other
So-
words, the caskets from this Precious Blood Cemetery
Okay.
in Woonsocket, they started because there was so much flooding from the hurricane of 38. And I thought it was an urban legend. They're saying no, it was documented that one of the coffins
Came out of the grave.
came out of the grave, was washed down right into the yard of
I don't know why I'm laughing.
his wife.
Oh my god.
You're so morbid.
I know. I know. It's awful.
Someone who goes to the Twisted Vine tomorrow night, for example, and they're going to stay for the investigation overnight.
Right.
Till 5 a.m., I think it
Till
is.
like
4 a.m.
3,
4
4 o'clock.
Usually, you know, after 3 a.m., things start, you know, slowing down. People are getting tired. So I think we're only going to go to like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Can someone bring in their equipment and
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask the question: could they investigate some of the Warren items?
Yeah. Well, we're going to be in the room
Right.
during that time,
Yeah.
and we're going to control
I have
how
a
the
REM pod.
investigation will happen inside of the museum.
Bring it.
I have a
Did you
REM
bring it?
pod, yeah,
Okay.
a REM pod and
K2.
K2, yeah.
Can we do a Estes method?
We could do the Estes method.
We'll
We'll
do
do that right
I was almost
inside.
going to bring it, and I didn't.
We'll
Okay,
do that in the
yeah,
museum. You know,
Okay,
I think we've done it before.
Mhm.
We got some great results out of it, and it's a good experience for those that are just learning how to
Right,
investigate.
right.
So,
And if
Yeah.
you're coming alone, please do. Sometimes the brand new single investigator can spark activity like crazy. So everyone is on an equal ground, and you just never know. Just
and
never
I know like the very top floor above the museum is really active as well.
Yeah.
So we may do like a fear walk.
And the basement.
The basement is really active.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy when last time we were there with Ryan, and what happened
Right.
inside the
vault
vault area of the basement, and I was asking questions about Annabelle in
Mhm.
that vault area, and the mel meters, everything started going crazy in there. And then
Well-
we were getting like EVPs from the DR60 or responses that referenced Annabelle.
Right.
So it pretty much freaked everybody out that was down there, but it was an interesting experience.
Well, and when she'll be in the building,
Now she's going to be in the building.
Right.
So yeah, it's going to be an experiment that we're kind of doing.
It is sold out. Warrenology is sold out, so we don't have any more tickets for that. But there are still some tickets left for the investigation. If anybody is in the area tomorrow, Derby, Connecticut,
Right.
Twisted Vine, you can get those tickets at warrensconvention.com.
Yeah, and if you wanted to join us at Warrenology, like we said, those tickets are for the lecture and tour of the museum.
And
those
dinner.
tickets are in the dinner. Those tickets are sold out. So we only have tickets available for the investigation if you want to purchase them. And Chris will put up the link for that.
Here, I'll put it up now.
So
and if you don't have equipment or have never been on an investigation, there will be team leaders that you can follow and go along, and we'll explain, etc. Dan will be probably leading a group out too, right? Yeah.
well, mainly I'm going to be in the museum.
Me too.
So let's see how we can work that out. We got to get together after the dinner and the lecture, and we'll break the teams up into 2 groups. So we'll have a team down at the lower level, and then we'll have another team, up on the 2nd and 3rd level, 4th level. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a really cool night. Like if you wanted to experience this, also we have other events that we have coming up. What's the next event that we have coming up after Warrenology, Chris?
Then we go on our tour. We start our tour. We'll be in West Virginia.
Devil's on a Run tour.
Devil's on the Run tour. That'll be starting in May 8th. We'll be down in West Virginia Penitentiary.
And that's with Ryan Buell, PRS.
Now, if you've never been there, in my opinion, and these guys know this, that's the second most haunted location I've ever been in. You can just, when you leave the tourist area and the gift shop and the security guards, it's like 4 blocks long. I just start tingling. It's just like they're just itching to talk and be with you, and it's terribly exciting. Almost guaranteed interaction at that place.
We got Patty Paranormal that's saying she's going tomorrow.
Oh, good.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I'm in West Virginia. Silver Slipper saying that I'm in West Virginia. So yeah, West Virginia, I believe there's 4 tickets still available for that. Yeah, so if you want to go to West Virginia, that's going to be a fun one. That's a huge prison over there. A lot of activity, plus the items being inside that museum, inside the prison.
Now, Father Bob, you're going to be there, of course.
Yep.
Probably with me in the museum. I want to, believe it or not, I want to create such protection around the items. So, for example,
So that nobody has any experience whatsoever.
And he's done that before.
That's
in the
one
middle of
way-
investigation.
you don't
He's
understand.
spraying holy water, doing prayers in the corner, right? I mean, everything was active. Like we were getting EVPs, red pods were going off. It's going crazy,
It
right?
was going crazy. Yeah.
All of a sudden, it just went quiet. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Well, I think
And
what
somebody's
he means
pointing
is
into
in
the
case
corner.
somebody feels under attack.
But
He cast it all out.
yeah, I did.
Like everybody's experience ended. That right there.
There was a buildup of demonic energy behind like these 4 girls against this wall.
People paid to experience,
But-
the paranormal activity.
You can be drained. You can be a lot
He
of
stopped
things.
it all.
My point is, I want to get protections around the items in the museum so that when
But do that after the investigation.
yes, but when, in other words, 998, I think, inmates were.
You see what we have to deal with?
Oh, now wait a minute. I'm looking at it as a protective measure of being safe. I don't want all of these suicidal, at their own hands inmates coming, and I don't want spiritual combat, and I don't want any other souls to be hurt.
Listen, we
Somebody has to come to Wade's defense because he's like,
listen.
I can take it.
Listen,
but-
we're just really busting Wade's balls.
yeah.
I'm not.
No, he's not.
Because you don't want
To a
you
certain
don't want to
extent,
be
yes,
you
to a
don't want to
certain
leave
extent.
people open to demonic.
No, and I've seen
No,
people,
we don't want to do that.
I've seen people get
But don't stop the equipment from
drained
going
and-
off.
and attachments.
You know.
But I'm really, Father Bob, talking to you.
Let me know that he's like, hey, Dan, I want to do this. You know,
I want to make it really safe to go into that museum area with all of that energy, all of those souls there active. I want people to be safe. I want them to have an experience, but I don't want danger. There's no sense of danger, and I have that.
I think
but
West Virginia Penitentiary, I've been there.
Right.
It has enough of its activity there of
Right.
human souls.
yes,
Right.
So you don't want to bring something cursed and then have them
Get fuel off of it, or vice versa,
or attached to something.
Exactly.
and I play around with him. You know,
No,
like,
but I mean, but West Virginia is very active. And
like I will send Wade onto like a level where there's nobody there. I done this before.
Not the 4th level.
The 3rd level at this location. That was the one
No,
at
we
the
just
hospital.
can't. We can't get
That's
them
the third
past.
level.
That's
We
the
can't
3rd
get them
level.
past the 2nd level.
Like I was gonna sneak up there and scare the shit out of him, right? And it backfired on him. It was like karma on me.
Right.
It's like when we're in the stairwell, right, ready to sneak
Now
up on him,
listen,
right? And he's live. He's got the camera in front of him.
and it was I wasn't
Yeah.
nervous at all because I had like 75 viewers and I was talking to them.
So I heard like somebody screaming from that 3rd level, and it wasn't Wade. I'm like, there's nobody else up on that 3rd level,
And he heard a man's voice talking to me, and I'm talking back to him.
right? So I went to run up there, and I slipped, and my foot made like this huge noise in the stairwell. You know how the stairwell echoes.
Dark, pitch dark.
Wade screams on the top of his lungs
I did.
and jumps, right?
I said, Dan, that's not funny. Who's there? and he had instantly fell in the dark on the marble steps. And they came running up because someone was with me. And they're like, we sent him up there alone to scare the shit out of him, but there's no one there with him.
Yeah, but before this all, Wade's like giving everybody a lecture. Yeah, you don't need to be afraid of this. You got to confront it. He was screaming, right?
I wasn't screaming.
Yes, you were.
Well, let's just say they heard it in the cellar and they heard it in the parking lot. But
well, as a priest, I'll be the peacemaker of everything. Okay.
You promise?
No, but anyways, I think that we're there in case someone
yes,
experiences,
That's why we're having you come.
That's
Yeah,
that's why
Especially
that's why you're
traveling with Annabelle.
Yeah.
So you're gonna.
and you don't want anything traveling home.
no, I
Right.
Probably the best bet is to bless the people after, so that they don't receive anything going home with them.
Yeah.
right, and I'll be out by the cars with the holy
How's
water
that?
and all that.
Is that
Agreed.
Is that
Yeah,
middle of the road?
the only souvenirs you should get are the T-shirts and the keychains in the gift shop.
I'm gonna fuck with you too. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Well,
Now I do not only have Wade now. I also have you.
Yeah, but I can give it back.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm going down basically by myself, in the dungeon. Don't you worry about
Well,
that.
I want the cameras on you when you do that.
Well, that means someone's going to be there.
Can we accompany him back with 100 paces?
Why don't we get him why don't we grab a selfie stick?
We're gonna give him we're gonna give the GoPro like it's gonna be hanging in front of his face
Yeah.
and just let him go like that.
We can do that too.
You want to do that?
Sure.
All right, we'll do that, and we're gonna go live with that.
Well, no, so that it's recorded and then edited.
No,
as
we're
it's
going
needed.
live.
Or do
No
the Estes
editing. No
method
editing.
just
This
in
is
there?
live, raw footage.
No, I don't want to do the Etsy's method right now, especially there, because I know that it's going to be a
No,
live
he
wire.
He doesn't need it.
So you're gonna go in the dungeon by yourself at the prison.
Right.
By yourself, nobody
Where's
down
the
there.
dungeon?
That's
Where they-
at the far
they
end where the
changed that
kitchen
number
area
in the
is.
dungeon.
They
Yeah.
put-
Remember down below when Wade said he saw the pipes on the walls and everything.
Remember that I described the pipes there
Yes,
with
yes.
the nuts and bolts on them, the round things that were connected.
Kimmy says she's going to be your emotional support human. So-
Kenny, thank you very much, and I'll take you up on that. Thank you.
So yeah,
And
Chris
Dale,
and I,
Dale Scott, thanks for your comment. Go
Chris
ahead.
and I are going to be spending most of our time in the museum in
Yeah.
West Virginia. Most of the time.
No, yeah,
You
well,
guys, I'm gonna let you guys go with the groups and investigate. You're there for
Emotional support.
emotional support, I'm sure. So
I'm
yeah,
in
you
the
guys are gonna
attitude
go
of
out and enjoy.
I know Father-
enjoy the experience.
I know Father Bob wants to investigate a lot. So
Yeah, and I'll do that the
How'd you
second
know?
night. The first night I'll be in the
How'd you
museum.
know?
I know. I
We'll
know.
work it out. Yeah. So what's after West Virginia, Chris? Where are we heading to after that? Because this is going to be a nonstop tour.
Our next stop is going to be
New Orleans.
until the end. There is a stop, but it's a while.
New Orleans.
Then we'll be down in New Orleans.
Where in New Orleans are we going to be?
Right down in the French district.
Yeah.
At Ghost City.
Ghost City Tours. Right. So so we're going to be right down there and right in the heart of New Orleans.
For 2 days. With water flooding there. Don't say anything. But a car that was found recently underwater or under like boulders, or it was buried from a storm.
If I recall, there was a hurricane called Katrina.
Oh, I remember that.
And there was a major flood there.
Major, yes.
I believe there were cars. There were probably bodies that were floating. Right? I mean, there was a disaster area.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you're thinking of. But that happened about, what, 12 years ago?
Gosh, a while ago.
15 years ago, maybe?
I remember the stadium, and I remember people walking on the expressways getting out, walking. But where we're going to be near the French Quarter, something to do with like a car that was under.
Yeah, there was a hurricane there called Katrina.
You just said that.
Yeah,
I know. And you just said that.
Tough
Anyway,
guy, folks.
Kimmy, we'll be there. We'll be there May 13th and 14th.
You see what I got to deal with here?
Oh, it's just And
now I'm going to be traveling with both of you.
So May 13th and 14th, we'll be down in New Orleans. And then, which will be interesting because I've been down there, but I don't know.
I was there once, but 8 years old. I remember very little.
It's such a haunted location.
I wasn't looking for the haunted.
I know you know a lot of history. You've been down to New Orleans, yes. Right? So what's the biggest, folklore down there in New Orleans?
It would be Marie Laveau.
Marie Laveau?
Yeah, the Voodoo Queen.
The Voodoo Queen.
I would think so.
Right.
And her cemeteries, how far is that away from where we're going to be?
I don't know exactly where we're going to be, but it's all like in the center there. And it's cool because they all bury above ground.
Yeah, right.
Over there.
When I went down there, they were still closed. A lot of them were closed because of the last hurricane. They weren't allowing people in or whatever.
The cemeteries.
Yeah, you weren't allowed in. There were a couple of tour companies that had access to one of them, which was cool. And now I think right after we left, they opened them all up. So now you can all go back.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, then there's the biggest attraction to O'Brien's. You're going to get a hurricane at O'Brien's.
Yeah.
Bar, the Irish bar.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
That's down on.
You got to get a hurricane.
I think I did. That's that big, tall drink, right?
And I believe the nuns, I said the nuns monastery is right down the road from us. And I believe that's where they say the vampires used to live on the third floor of the monastery. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stories out of New Orleans, and I think
it is much more than those. We'll find out.
I just can't wait. Like if these guys get away from us,
yeah.
You know that famous hotel with the balcony.
Yeah,
they're going to be up there with their shirts off, with the beads around their necks and everything,
swinging
their shirts around.
I was just going to ask Father Bob if he was going to earn his beads or not.
My rosary beads?
Yeah.
He's going to be on the second level doing this.
Stop.
Lord, please don't. He's a good guy. Well,
I can't help it.
So from New Orleans, then we're on to
San Antonio.
With
Ryan Buell,
and that's on the
weekend of the 17th.
17th, yeah.
The weekend of the 17th, Black Swan Inn, San Antonio, Texas. We're going to be there for a couple days. Yep. Also, like I said, Ryan Buell is going to be traveling with us from West Virginia to New Orleans and back to San Antonio, Texas. Father Bob, you're going to be doing a lecture over
I am
San Antonio.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. What are you going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about experiences and how I started in paranormal.
Okay.
And why I started my group up, the Holy Sword.
Nice.
Yeah.
You may have some additions to that story by the time you get.
I could. And what's great is because I worked with Ryan on Paranormal State, so.
Right.
I met him in Gettysburg recently. We reunited after, many years since I left the show. And it was great. So just being down with Ryan will be awesome.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
drive
And it's a great reunion. Getting back together.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was.
So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about your experiences with PRS and Paranormal State. Chris, what do we have after
Well,
that?
I just, we're a half hour in. We should say that we're only going 45 minutes today. So we got about 15, 20 more minutes.
Yeah, Chris and I have to get on a conference call after this, so we're going to keep it a little short, but we want to talk about all the events that we're doing this year. So what do we got after that? We come home for a while, right?
Yeah, and then this is the first time we're announcing it. We're going to Gettysburg. We're going back to Gettysburg with Annabelle and a couple of other items.
That's the weekend of July 11th?
That is July 11th
12th,
through the 13th.
Through the 13th.
Right.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right, and we'll be doing day tours, so you'll be able to come and see Annabelle and whatever other couple of items that we bring. And on the 11th, we're going to do a special investigation also.
So yeah, the special investigation he's talking about is going to be at the orphanage.
The haunted orphanage and the Jenny Wade house.
Ooh.
So we're going to have two groups. They'll be going at the same time. We'll do a couple hours at each one, then we'll swap sides.
Right.
I mean, they're right across the street from each other, and we'll investigate it. And you'll get to investigate with Annabelle.
And we also are going to do the day tours on Friday during the day,
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. And it's also going to be a busy week down there. It's bike week down there in Gettysburg that week. So there's going to be a lot of people down there.
It's going to be a lot of fun things to do.
Right. And then you get the battlefields. You could go driving through the battlefields. There's all the other haunted locations down there. They have great restaurants. Great ghost hunt walks and everything they have over there.
Ghostly images of Gettysburg's tour is bringing us down. So make sure you guys get on one of their tours.
They have the double-decker bus.
They also have the double-decker buses, which are cool. You can do a history tour during the day, and then you can do one of their ghost tours at night.
And I'm going to tell you this. Whether you go to Jenny Wade or the orphanage or both locations, you're going to be talking about the next day. Credible stories and incredible phenomena. Amazing.
So we got
Chris and Tom are great there.
We got our cousins, the Russells, that are saying they're going to join us in Gettysburg.
Oh, cool.
Oh, good.
So
Awesome.
they're from Missouri, I believe, the Russells.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, so they're going to come down and join us, it looks like.
The Reynolds.
By the way,
The Russells, the two Russells.
The two Russells, right.
Russells.
I call them the Russells. It's the son and father.
Russ, is your dad going to go with you or what? Let us
Or is this his dad we're talking to?
Oh, yeah, you got me. I think it's Junior. Is that Junior?
so to get tickets to the Gettysburg event.
And we got Brandon and Kimmy that sounds like they're going to join us in Gettysburg. I hope you guys could come down. I think
Brandon,
it'd be
with
great.
his nerves of steel, that man is calm as can be under any circumstance.
Yep, Dad is coming. Russell Dad is coming.
Good.
Awesome.
Good.
We have to.
Wish I was going.
We'll have to have a little reunion. Yeah, you got something going on that.
I'll be in Portugal.
Oh, nice. What are you doing there?
I'm with a group going to Fatima and other places in
wow.
Portugal.
Yeah, guys, the orphanage is going to be open for investigation that night. The orphanage and the Jenny Wade. The great thing about the orphanage, back in the day, they didn't let you go downstairs into the basement of the orphanage. Right. Now, this year, they opened up the whole location for investigation. So now you get to experience the basement of the orphanage where, all these tragedies happened at that orphanage. Right. Kids were being tied up to the walls, chained and everything, being abused. So it's a very sad story about what happened there.
Where is it located in Gettysburg?
Do you know where the Jenny Wade house is?
Yeah.
Right across the street from the Jenny Wade house. Remember Rita's ice
cream?
The ice cream was right next door to that.
Oh,
Three-story.
I never knew that.
Looks like
it so many times.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Wow.
I mean, the evidence that we encountered there down in the cellar was astounding. We were respectful but quiet because we wanted to catch a lot of the evidence. By the way, I must say,
and my painting that Wade
oh right,
painted of me doing the
Of-
Estes
of
method
the
down
Estes
there.
method, right?
Is down in the lower level of the orphanage.
Oh,
They have
really?
it hanging up there. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You
Oh, I
know,
didn't
thanks
see
to
it.
Oh, it's down there.
thanks to Christina and Tom, they put the painting down there in the basement.
Oh,
It's hanging
really?
up down there.
Oh, that's an honor. I didn't
Yeah, I
know
thought that was pretty cool. Thanks,
oh, that's
guys.
nice. Thank you.
Despite it was him, they still put it down.
No, because you recognize the hallway where he is.
I gotcha.
You know. Are you done? And it's
No,
funny.
there's other people here that want to talk.
It's funny because you can see the reference to painting, and there is exactly where he was, and it explains. I often get asked in the museum, how do we find a ghost? How do we know it's a ghost? And one thing I bring them over to the painting and say, this is called the Estes method. Let me explain what he's doing, and that's how you confirm.
Yeah, I didn't know that he did that. I mean, it surprised me when during the Paracon that you unveiled that. So.
Well, I wanted to make a learning tool.
Well,
And,
yeah,
you know,
I mean, that's
people
fine. I'm
often
cool with that. I thought the painting was mine. You know, like I saw it there, like, oh, he was giving this to me.
Are you seeing?
No, it wasn't for me.
Are
He
you-
painted.
Are
Well,
you,
know,
isn't
my
it better
image.
that it's there for posterity?
Right.
You know,
That's
I wanted to put it above my, on my bed above
he
the
would have it above
headboard.
the ceiling.
You know,
But
Put
do
a
you-
crucifix,
do you
it's better.
Yeah, exactly. Do you see a pattern?
Yes.
I see the pattern.
Okay.
We
so-
all see the pattern.
And to get tickets, do they go to the Jenny Wade House or the orphanage website?
It's all our events are on our website.
Okay.
What is it?
WarrensConvention.com.
WarrensConvention.com.
Wow, put it in the comments.
I did.
If you go to Jenny
did, I
Wade House,
did.
get their preserves and their stuff up there.
Yeah, they have a great gift shop.
Oh my gosh.
Dan will tell you it's hard to pull me out of the gift shop.
Well, just their preserves and stuff that they have up there, the
Yeah.
jams and all that.
Was
stuff.
it what when she got shot? Right.
She was the first casualty.
What was she doing?
Making
bread.
for the
The only,
soldiers.
the only civilian casualty.
Well, she was. I thought she was the first.
I don't think she was the first.
She did, I think, the only.
But I think they told her to
Yes.
get
she was
down,
only
and she
civilian.
didn't. She continued doing what she was doing.
Well, no, it was.
Right.
It was by accident. They didn't tell her to get down. It was like a. I don't want to say
Sharp-
friendly fire, but it was like that. It didn't mean to.
Yeah,
go in
they
there.
did.
Right.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just did.
So do they have a bread sale?
Dan, stop where you're head.
God will get you for that, Walter.
And then what's after Gettysburg?
Then, we'll be on a break after that.
Okay.
It's
Obviously
it's
don't know.
summertime, so
Yeah, we got things going on other than
we got a lot of things
we
going
got
on.
a lot of
this
things
summer.
going on. Then we're gonna travel again. So go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, we'll be Rock Island for the Roadhouse Expo.
Absolutely.
So,
That's
yeah, that's
very
gonna be-
exciting.
That's going to be really cool. I mean, I've
And
never
when's
been
that?
on
In October? What?
October 4th. That's I think that's a one
One
day
day.
event.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's going to be it.
and that one's cool because that's going to be the whole museum that I say the whole museum, but we're bringing a lot of items for that one.
Right. That's set up almost like the Paracon.
Right.
That we're gonna set it up over there in Rock Island,
Right.
Illinois. So I think that's going to be a great expo. Go to WarrensConvention.com. You'll see the ticket links to Rock Island. And 2 weeks after that is a big one.
That's Lexington, Kentucky. That'll be Scarefest, the 17th through the 19th.
Now, Scarefest is like, we're going to have like the Warrens Paracon inside Scarefest. That's how huge this convention is over there.
Right.
And you're talking about between 35,000 to 40,000 people
Tens of thousands of people.
coming in there for the whole weekend.
And if you go on their website, they have a ton of guests coming. I think
Celebrities, horror celebrities.
Who's the guy that plays Freddy there? I think he's going to be there.
They have two guys,
Robert England.
Robert England, and they also have like all the ones that played Jason as well, like
Yeah, a bunch of those.
King Carter. But you had other people playing Jason that will also be there, and there's like TV personalities that are going to be there from some of the shows on TV.
They got a ton of
Right.
guests.
This is like a huge event. I mean, really popular. It's taken off. I think it's almost or is bigger than Comic-Con right now. I believe almost. I mean, with the volume they bring in.
Right.
So yeah, it's a pretty cool event. They invited us to come out there, and I think that's you guys. If you're able to come to Lexington, Kentucky, go to WarrensConvention.com and get your tickets there.
And they did something really special. I mean, the ticket prices aren't too shabby for that because they kind of
No, I believe like the general admissions is like $25 to come in for general admissions.
Yeah.
But then they have like package deals that you could get for the whole weekend. So, you could do add-ons and everything. So it might cost a little bit more, but it's worth it.
We might do something special too.
Oh, there's going to be an add-on as well as
We
what
might
we're
do
doing
something.
over there.
We
Right.
might do something special.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're actually going to be on their podcast in a couple of weeks, I believe, right?
We're supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, it's the 25th, I believe. So it's Scarefest Live, I think it's called.
Right.
So we're going to be joining them on a live podcast as well. And we're going to be filming from inside the Warrens Museum and talking about the items that we're bringing to Scarefest.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, so I think it will be pretty cool.
No dust on this group.
Well, there's a lot of dust. How old are you, Wade?
No moss.
No, there's a lot of dust. How old are you, Wade?
Old enough to know better than to ask you. What's that supposed to mean? Good luck?
How old you are? It's like a dust. I'm blowing.
And that's the response. Okay, go ahead.
And I think that's going to wrap up our year, unless.
Yeah, no, we got.
Comes
We
around.
might have other announcements coming up.
Let's not get ahead of
We're not going to
ourselves.
get ahead of ourselves right now, but we're going to end it. I think right there with Scarefest for now. But you never know what's going to happen after that. And I appreciate you coming out, Father Bob, and joining us on this crazy tour that we're going to have.
I'm looking forward to it.
It almost sounds like a joke, you know?
No, I don't think so.
Can
Like,
you imagine
what's
the
that
stories?
It's going to be like The Hangover.
Can you imagine the stories? You know we're going to have
A
stories.
cop, a Puerto Rican, a priest.
Well, I think you'll be the one that's going to be.
And the paranormal homo or something.
Yeah, the paranormal.
Oh God. You're gonna want
And
to.
Annabelle.
They're gonna find you on the roof, like roofied out on the roof somewhere.
You guys are
Wade's gonna get the tattoo.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
You know.
Yeah, right.
That'll happen. Yeah, right.
We'll get you a tattoo.
No.
We're gonna get Wade a tattoo somewhere. Anybody along our stop that's maybe a tattoo artist?
Oh, come on.
Hit us up at Warren's.
Don't even. You're baiting. Don't.
Guys, we have
us
a
a
great
call.
time at these events that we're doing. Also, don't forget, Get Haunted also does a lot of events throughout the year. So if you go to gethaunted.com, get your tickets from them. They go investigate all different types of locations. It's a great experience. We've been on those locations with them before. We did tours with them before. I think last year it actually started the Devils on the Run tour. So yeah, Get Haunted, get the experience with them and
Great
enjoy
group.
it.
Great group.
Yes, great group. So
for sure.
Rob and
Sarah.
they do a great
Danny,
job.
Tons of people.
Trevor, we can name them all.
Yeah.
Courtney, jeez.
Yeah,
Oh my
Courtney.
God, Courtney. Wow.
So yeah, guys, go to gethaunted.com and check out their events. I think if you want to have a paranormal experience and investigate and learn how to investigate, they're the place to go to.
They're good for first timers, just coming out of the woodwork or shell.
Any level, though.
Any level, but they offer a even field of knowledge and welcoming to the situation.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy to be a part of Get Haunted, and being on their podcast or giving us the opportunity to give us this platform to share our events and our experiences. And then again, I can't thank you enough for traveling with us.
Seriously,
you, Ryan.
I'm happy to go anytime.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're gonna find out how this is all gonna be. I think we're gonna go live in the RV on the way down there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. All right, so guys, thanks for tuning in,
Thanks so much for watching.
We'll catch up with you maybe in a couple of weeks, Chris.
Yeah.
Before we head out in May.
Yeah.
2
We'll
weeks?
definitely. Yeah, 2 weeks. Well. Yeah, 2 weeks.
May in 3 weeks.
Well, next week we have a show. We have a scheduled show next week.
Oh,
So we should do one next week.
All right.
It's our regular.
remember we were last week. You weren't.
Yeah.
Chris wasn't feeling good.
So you're saying we gotta have a podcast next Friday?
Yeah, we're gonna have. Yeah, we'll have one next Friday.
All right. I guess we're having a podcast next Friday, guys. So we'll see you then.
Which will put us back
Or
on
maybe not.
schedule.
What about if I get sick again?
Don't get sick.
All right.
Enough.
All right, guys. These guys are ruthless. I guess we'll be back here again next week. Father Bob, thank you for joining us.
And all you've done behind the scenes that no one sees. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Seekers of the Supernatural. See you next week.
Thank you.
Ed was passionate about helping people because Ed lived in a haunted house. He lived in a haunted house in Bridgeport, Connecticut from age 5 to age 12. So he said to me, when I got out of the Navy, I said, I'm going to find out if other people had the same experiences that I did when I lived in that house.
From the time that I was about 7 years old, I remember seeing lights around people. I realized that I was communicating. My Catholic faith is very, very important to me and still is today, and that helped me.
They can hear you.
No, they can't. It sounds
Yeah,
like-
no, they can hear me.
Oh, they can hear you? Hey,
Oh,
you guys can hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us.
Okay.
No, I just this.
It was on mute.
this window.
Well,
Guys,
turn
go
it
away.
off.
Go, guys, turn off your cameras. Stop. Turn.
Good
Turn it
night.
off. Good night.